One of the yes votes for the bill was South Florida Congressman Curbelo.
Let's go down to Pennsylvania Avenue to the Capitol. Congressman Curbelo is there to speak with us live. Good evening, Congressman.
Ruta Bay, Elliott, good evening from the Capitol. It's good to be with you.
So there was a big celebration at the White House today, but you chose not to go. Why?
Oh, I'm not into policy parties, and there's still a lot of hard work to do here in the Capitol through the end of the week. We want to get a DACA deal, and I was in meetings all afternoon to see if we could get a compromise to get something on the floor this week. Oh, and by the way, we also need to extend government funding into next year. So there's a lot of work to do here. I respect my colleagues who went out there to celebrate this historic legislation that's going to make all Americans more prosperous, but I decided to use my time differently.
Well, let's talk about this tax reform bill that was passed. Critics say it benefits corporations and people at the highest income levels the most. How does that benefit people in your district?
Well, that's just dishonest criticism, Elliott. We do a lot in this bill to help lower and middle income Americans. First, we double the standard deduction. That protects those early dollars for American families, and the families who benefit the most from that are lower and middle income Americans. We also reduce rates for all Americans. Oh, and we double the child tax credit to make American families more prosperous. It used to be $1,000, now it's going to be $2,000. And if that's not enough, we make the first $1,400 of that refundable for families, households who don't have a federal income tax liability. So we are pumping literally hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into lower and middle income families who have been struggling for a long time to get by and who really want to get ahead. And on the corporate side, these changes are important. For the last couple decades, we've seen U.S. corporations leaving, taking their jobs, their operations, and their profits overseas. Now they're bringing those profits back. Those profits are going to be reinvested in our country, in our economy, in our workers, and not only that, we're going to attract companies from all over the world to come establish operations here because we have a tax code that's actually competitive now.
That all sounds good in the short term, but in the long term, this bill is expected to add $1.5 trillion to the national debt in a decade. So why is that not concerning the Republican Party, which has long been into fiscal responsibility?
According to the committee, the Joint Committee on Taxation, that number's around $1 trillion over a decade. I'm not proud of that. From the very beginning, I was for what we call revenue neutral tax reform, meaning that it would not create a deficit nor a surplus in the budget. Unfortunately, that position didn't have enough support on the Hill. Our hope is that through greater growth, we can make up as much of that $1.5 trillion as possible, because as a young American, I am concerned about our country's debt. And here's the other thing. Before this tax bill, we had a lot to do to reform spending in Washington, D.C., and to get it out of control. That remains the case, and this should give us a little more impetus to get it done.
Congressman, what about the impact this will have on health care? Many people in your district have health insurance through Obamacare. Won't the repeal of the individual mandate raise their health premiums?
Well, think about how unfair the individual mandate is. It's a fine against Americans who don't purchase health insurance, A, because they're unable to, they just can't afford it, and we know how much premiums have gone up in recent years, or B, they just don't think the health insurance plans that are out there are good for them and for their families. And when this happens, we kind of add insult to injury by fining them. Now, let me be very clear. This does not change the tax credits that are available to Americans under the ACA. This does not affect the ACA exchanges at all. The program remains exactly as is. The only difference is that we're not going to fine a lot of lower income Americans who either cannot afford to purchase health insurance or who just don't find a plan that's good for them and for their families. So this is actually one of the provisions of the ACA that was the least popular, and now we're getting rid of it without changing other elements of the ACA, like protecting those with pre-existing conditions, not discriminating against women when it comes to health insurance. So I think we're getting rid of the bad and keeping the good.
So the next hurdle for Congress now is passing a spending bill, and some lawmakers are using that as leverage to ask for action on DACA. So where do you stand on that?
That's absolutely right, and I'm one of those lawmakers. And by the way, I've never done this before. I think when it comes to funding the government, Congress should really try to do that as smoothly as possible, as drama-free as possible. But this time is different. We have 800,000 young Americans, and I call them Americans, even though they're undocumented, because they grew up in our country, they went to school with our kids, they speak English. A lot of them don't even remember their countries of origin. These are Americans, and their lives are at risk if we don't get this done. So I told the Speaker of the House, I told the Majority Leader, I've also told the Democratic leaders that I am not going to vote for a spending bill past December 31st unless we get this done. We have a small chance at getting it done this week. We're working hard here around the clock to build a bipartisan compromise that can secure the future for these young immigrants. I don't know if it's going to get done this year or not, but my commitment is to them, and that's why I'm not supporting any legislation that allows Congress to adjourn without getting it done. If we have to continue fighting in January, we will, but I'd like to get it done now.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of these young people that live in our community. Congressman Carlos Curbelo, thank you so much for joining us live from Capitol Hill.
Anytime. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. And as the tax reform bill heads to the White House for presidential approval, stay with CBS 4 for continuing coverage on air and online at cbsmiami.com.